Today, we present to you the rise country on the cusp of dethroning the US, which is projected to drop to the third spot on the list of biggest economies by 2075.
We're about to uncover what happens to a world where economic decisions can have unexpected consequences, and where even the best intentions can lead to unexpected storms. That's where microeconomics and macroeconomics come in. Microeconomics involves individual decisions, market dynamics, and consumer preferences. But how do these pieces form the grand economic masterpiece? Enter macroeconomics, which zooms out to investigate GDP shifts, inflation mysteries, and unemployment trends. On this journey from micro to macro, we uncover how your everyday choices connect to the flow of economies. Economics is the study of how people interact with value. Behavioral economics is a microeconomic field aiming to understand these interactions. It's tough to replicate social experiments due to the uniqueness of individuals, which is even more daunting at the macroeconomic level, involving billions of people across diverse countries, languages, and roles. Experimenting on entire nations isn't feasible, so where do economists turn to learn? They learn from real-world successes and failures. But why does this matter? Because economic decisions shape the world we live in. Modern technology, the surge in wealth, and societal progress stem from economic dynamics. Yet economics can also wreak havoc. Economists analyze diverse economies to uncover what works and what doesn't, aware of their insights' immense impact. The economic trajectories of nations often resemble the paths of twins separated at birth. North and South Korea, East and West Germany, China and Taiwan, and even Venezuela and Norway. These pairs share underlying economic similarities, yet diverge remarkably due to their decisions over time. But as we explore the realms of economic divergence and convergence, we must be very careful. The dangers of drawing hasty conclusions from these comparisons can be intense. It's important to note that no country truly exists at the absolute extremes of these economic spectrums. Even seemingly individualistic nations like the USA have regulations governing trade, and markets with no central authority still develop their own informal rules. Similarly, economies with strong central planning can still have pockets of market activity. Political labels and economic realities can often be mismatched. For example, China's open economy doesn't fit typical Western regulations. Despite this, comparing similar economies helps understand different systems. Think of North and South Korea, East and West Germany. They show how economic decisions matter, even in complex situations. When we compare South and North Korea's economies, it's clear that free markets have worked well for South Korea. Economists, policymakers, and regular people support this viewpoint. South Korea's approach has led to a much better quality of life than North Korea's. Despite North Korea having more resources and allies, its economy is much weaker, with a GDP per person 20 to 30 times lower than the South's. This difference is because North Korea's communist economic policies didn't make the most of its advantages, while South Korea's free market system helped it thrive. However, while this explanation isn't necessarily wrong, a more nuanced perspective is needed. In the face of this clear case study, astute economists should dive deeper and ask why such a significant difference arose. The standard explanation points to the incentive structure. In an economic system where resources are distributed regardless of individual contributions, there's little motivation for innovation, hard work, or efficiency. But is there more to this story? How do cultural, historical, geopolitical, and social factors come into play? The comparison of economic twins is certainly interesting, but its real insights come to light when we dig into the complex mix of factors that impact how economies turn out. The incentive to innovate, put in effort, and take risks is certainly a part of the equation, but when you look into the reality of these economic twins uncovers a more complex picture. North Korea and East Germany accomplished remarkable scientific and engineering feats that were motivated by factors other than just making money, such as gaining recognition, holding important positions in the government, and a true passion for their work. However, it's crucial to recognize that these different motivations didn't always lead to beneficial outcomes for their countries or the greater good of humanity. A free market's pivotal advantage lies in its resource allocation mechanism, a challenge where unlimited human desires meet limited resources. Whether through a free market or a centrally planned economy, the goal is determining what to produce, how much, and for whom. The latter system, the idea of a centrally planned economy, is theoretically possible, but it relies on the belief that there's an all-knowing authority capable of accurately understanding what people in society value. In today's free market, numerous businesses offer various products, making the decision-making process incredibly intricate. For a centrally planned economy to match the material well-being achieved by a free market, it would need a flawless understanding of how much each citizen values millions of products. Countries like North Korea and East Germany faced issues where industries chosen for emphasis didn't match their citizens' actual needs or values. The Soviet Union, for instance, prioritized heavy industry at the cost of neglecting smaller industries valued in regular market economies. Additionally, the absence of accountability in centrally planned economies can lead to corruption, as leaders prioritize industries that benefit them personally rather than the economy as a whole. It's crucial to understand that while these weaknesses highlight the limitations of centrally planned economies, they also emphasize that free markets have their drawbacks. For example, after World War II, West Germany received substantial aid from the US for reconstruction, which put it in a different economic position. Both sides possess strengths and weaknesses in the complex world of economic systems. Economic twins offer a glimpse into the intricate decision-making process, resource allocation, and the dynamic interplay of factors that shape a nation's economic destiny. Foreign aid played a crucial role in shaping the initial paths of economic twins. The substantial support given by the US to Western Europe post-World War II and the significant investment in South Korea after the Korean War had a major impact on their early economic trajectories. Despite receiving less aid, East Germany and North Korea managed to keep up with their counterparts in the initial years. One advantage of centrally planned economies is their ability to make focused investments during industrialization, directing resources toward key industries, especially in underdeveloped countries. However, the long-term effects of these decisions became evident over time. In reality, most advanced economies strike a balance between these approaches. In most cases, goods and services come from the market, but there are times when interventions are needed to tackle negative impacts, ensure security, defend the nation, and build public infrastructure. Skilled economists shouldn't reject ideas without consideration, but learn from past examples to guide present-day economies. This reduced the urgency to use oil earnings for immediate poverty alleviation or rapid modernization. Minor choices can result in significant challenges and outcomes. The need for economists to approach their analyses objectively, free from biases and political influences, is also extremely important. East and West Germany, Norway, and Venezuela give us good insights into the impact of different economic policies and strategies. We hope you understand the importance of understanding nuances and making informed decisions based on careful historical and current economic data analysis. That's it for this video.